3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Good afternoon, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Training Camp Central Live. We're streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! Welcome into Training Camp Central Live. We are at day number 6 on the practice field out there in Oxnard. The honeymoon phase is over, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to figure out some things now, right? We're trying to get some answers. That's what Oxnard is for, and that's what Training Camp Central Live is for. We're going to be following all the latest developments out there. We're going to be tracking all of the plays, all of the updates, hopefully none injury, but we do have some injury updates as we get this thing rolling here. And we do it just like every TCC Live in the command center, where I will be following, we will be following what's happening out there in Oxnard via my Oxnard beat over here, man. So we got Tommy Yarish. Shouts out to Jay Sean Barham. We gonna talk about Jay Sean. We gonna talk about Easy E too, man. Dak Prescott rolling out there. Nick Harris. Shouts out to everybody. John Machota, Joe Hoyt, my guy, out there giving us this great work and information. And shouts out to Jerry Jones too. So they try to shut it down, right? Last time we did this, they tried to shut down recording. You know, the media couldn't really record. Then Jerry said, hold on, wait a second. No. Let them record. And y'all know how I felt about the situation. I didn't like it. I wanted the beat to be able to record. Is there a healthy medium? Sure. Medium, sure. You can say don't record the all-22 zoom in. I'll take the zoom in. But we ain't got to worry about none of it, because we're going to get all of it today and moving forward. So I'm excited about practice number 6 on the field. There seems to be a discrepancy in the day number, but for me, I'm going based off of when they practice out there on the field, and we'll continue to follow it as George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb head out there. Calvin Watkins said former Bengals coach Marvin Lewis is attending Cowboys training camp today. Lewis served on the competition committee under Stephen Jones. Y'all remember the days? Oh, I thought it was a drone. Y'all remember the days when Marvin Lewis was a legitimate option as a head coach? I mean, I don't know if it's really legitimate, but as a head coach, weird. Shouts out to Lynn. What happened? Why are you saying no? Toxic time. Well, you're scaring me, big dog. Don't say no like that, man. Lennox said Otito Ogbonnia is flashing, bro. Listen, we're going to talk about that too, because in the podium report, I don't have it up there. However, Coach Shoddy, somebody asked him about Otito Ogbonnia, and Coach Shoddy said, yeah, man, he's impressive. In fact, he was one of the more impressive guys that he really didn't know much about. He really didn't know much about him. And I got to know more about Otito, not just the film, because the film is awesome. That's why I was like, oh, I like this edition, given what we're trying to be. But shouts out to Connor Livesay, who had a chance to sit down with him and get in the mind of Otito and how he works. And he understands this scheme. You can tell he does. And very smart guy, 6'4", 325 plus. Saw him listed even higher than that. So he's a big fella, strong fella, and going to be hard to move. And that's why when you see this interior battle, I include that iron sharp, and I include Otito, and I include Bullard. All right. Speaking of which, before we hit the podium report, let's kind of get into who is out today. And unfortunately, Jonathan Bullard is one of them. So according to Nick Harrison, Coach Shoddy also said this at the podium. Jalen Thompson once again is out. Zion Childress still remains out. Devin Moore and Jonathan Bullard are the two who have been added to this list as out. I believe Devin Moore is suffering from a groin. Now, Devin Moore is a guy who had injury situations happen to him quite often in college. So you want to keep an eye on that one. The JT thing, they're probably trying to be cautious here because he is their prize free agent. He is a huge addition to this team. Is he on a leadership council? He might even be on a leadership council. Big addition. Don't want to do too much here, but it does suck that he's not out there. But on my practice board, we're going to talk. I got some ideas for that. Elijah Clark is limited. Remember, he went out as well as DeMarvion Overshown. However, someone listed him as limited, and then Nick did not. But he says Demo will be out there, and so will Tyler Guyton. They're back in full swing. Coach Shoddy at the podium. He did say that DeMarvion Overshown will be working back into team drills. So something that we can keep our eye on, right, is now that he's back, how are the reps between him and Barham going to be when it comes to the middle linebacker situation? Now, we're getting to the point, and I said this before, we're getting to the point where if you're not going to go out and get a veteran upgrade at the position, let's go ahead and get Barham acclimated to be that feared middle. I shouldn't say fear. He's a rookie, so some people might not fear him. But to be that trusted middle linebacker. Green dot, I don't know. Let me put this on DND on all those updates. And we'll get to Coach Christian Parker as well. CP did say that everybody has the headset communication, and they'll be rotating guys doing the green dot stuff. And I believe he happened to be one, but they have not settled yet on the green dot situation. But boy, if you don't go out and get that middle linebacker that you believe is the ideal middle linebacker for you, inside linebacker for you to man the mic, even though obviously those guys will be moving around, then you got to start getting Barham acclimated for it, and then Demo and Winters and those guys can battle out, opposite of him. That's kind of where I'm at with it, because it's clear they really like Jayshawn Barham, and again, we'll get to a little bit more. Coach also cleared up the left tackle situation. Coach said, look, I don't know how y'all got this information out of me, but that's not what I said. So, Coach, you want us to tell you that Tyler Guyton's the starting left tackle? No. You want us to treat him like we treat the other Tylers? No. That's not what I said. Shouts out to Django. He said, I didn't call Tyler Guyton the starter. I didn't say the competition was over. None of that. The competition is still valid. However, Nate Thomas has to give me a reason to put him in there to ramp up this competition. The reason why we saw Nate Thomas in there the other day, because he did, Coach did say, hey, we're not going to be splitting these first team reps. The reason why he was because Tyler Guyton was suffering an elbow injury, so he came out. All right. We're going to see just how much that happens now that apparently Tyler Guyton is fine. And I'll keep stating, he can say whatever he wants. I truly do not believe there is a legitimate left tackle competition. And I didn't need camp to see that. Based off of what I saw on film last year, if we believe that Tyler Guyton had a long way to go, where the hell was Nate Thomas at then, right? So if Guyton has room to improve, Nate Thomas has a 4-story mansion of room to improve. Respects to Nate Thomas. So I still don't believe it, which then leads to the question, like I said the other day, how much confidence do you have in the depth? They got to give me a little bit more confidence is all, man. A little more confidence. And then Shoddy said that him and Christian Parker have not finalized the whole situation of will he be in the booth? Will he not be in the booth? We shall see. As they're getting warmed up here with some drills, I said this on the collective. Not sure if I said this to you guys here on the channel. I want to see Christian Parker in the booth. And here's why. He comes off as a Rain Man type to me. Not saying that Christian Parker is not a motivator, because he's a teacher. And that doesn't mean he can't motivate. He can motivate in different ways. He's probably not the game day rah-rah type. And now that he's going to be calling plays, I don't know how much time he's going to have to be dedicated to be that positional coach of bring my cornerbacks over, bring my secondary over here. Let me get in y'all ears. Let me hype you up. Hype me up. Like, I don't see him doing that as often. So I'm thinking about what's the best way we could potentially use his brain work. I just feel like he can look down and see all the pieces as numbers and problems and science and math and just piece it together in a way that we can't see on the field. So I personally would like to have Christian Parker in the booth. However, Shadi said they're going to experiment with it. They have not settled on it, and we shall see as this thing goes. Thrasher said, I need CP on the roof analyzing the offenses. That's how I look at it, man. I just feel like he's going to see stuff before anybody else being up there with how smart he is. It could be more of an advantage from the bird's eye view as opposed to on the ground where you got a lot going on. Hell, Dan Quinn was up there. Dan Quinn was up there. I agree, A.A. Ron. He said CP's job for Fangio was to figure out where the offense was attacking the defense and provide the alternative adjustments on game day. I want him in the booth. That's where I want. All the look, if we need the energy and the emotion, let Smitty do it. Ryan Smith. And is it Ansley? I always get that mixed up. Ansley. I think it's Ansley. Ansley, let them guys do it. Dan said, Al Harris, that's you. Lock it down. Let me figure it out up here. And he brought his boy up there too, Joe Witt. I don't think Joe was that type of Joe Witt's a tough dude, man. I don't think he was one of those, man, I love Coach Joe Witt. Not that he wasn't a good coach. He was tough, old school. Old school. All right, so let me get to the practice board. We got a game we're going to play too as these guys are warming up. I'm not sure if we're going to do it right now or we're going to do this later on in the afternoon as these guys kind of settle into team period. And there goes DeMarvion Overshawn. Let's get to this practice board though, because I do have some questions that I'm looking to see answered today. All right, so here's what I'm looking for. If you guys don't know about the practice board, I have 3 things that I would like to see answered by the end of said practice, and we'll check them off at the end of the show. You guys can have as many as you like. I want to see Eazy-E have a day, y'all. I'd like to see Donovan Izaraku have a day. Cold jelly. I'm not discouraged or anything in that manner. But you know, every practice, what are we coming away saying about Gary? You know, we see Gary's power on display. Hell, sometimes we see him hit a little move inside, nothing crazy. Hell, we even saw Sam Williams hit a double hand swipe. Malachi, I will probably put in the same level. Malachi's a rookie, though. Again, this is why I don't rely on rookies. I want to rely on rookies solely to elevate said room by themselves. Because Malachi is going to take time to develop. He has a specific set of skills. It's cool. But he's not a guy you went out there for 70% of the snaps yet. That's why Izaraku year 2, you want to see the step up. But Dono, or Izaraku, we'll say that. The other Dono probably ruined Dono. I haven't seen too many splashes yet. Nothing to get concerned about. Splashes are splashes, but it's training camp, you know? Let's see some splash. Let's see a day. Let's have a day, Donovan Izaraku is all. Let's have a day. Is that fair? O-line depth. I would like to see them step up. This is what I was talking about earlier in regards to Tyler Guyton. Boy, the starting 5, I feel good. Feel fine. Keep those guys healthy, playing together year 2. I feel fine. But that depth, That depth scares me. And I just wonder if something were to happen. Let you guys see some more of these. I remember in 2020, how many of y'all remember the name Brandon Knight? Jeez. Terrence Steele, the rookie, much better player now. But Terrence Steele, the rookie, Brandon Knight. When the Cowboys didn't have that, I think 2020 spooked them so bad. They said, no. We need to go get Titan Secchi, both Cam Irving, Cam Fleming, Jason Peters, Idoga. They said, ooh, we are not relying on the Brandon Knights and Terrence Steeles of the world. Matter of fact, we had to kick out damn Zach Martin, bro. We had to kick out damn Zach Martin to right tackle because we ain't had no depth. What they talking about this year? And man, if something happened to Tyler Smith or Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith might have to go kick out. No, man, stop it. So I'd like to see the O-line depth step up. It's not going to do it. Look, they're not going to persuade me in one practice, but we would like to see them start to stack some days as well. You know? We like to see them start to stack some days. And then Caleb Downs on the roof. So the reason why I said Caleb Downs on the roof, Jalen Thompson has been out quite a bit. I'm trying not to get too concerned about that. I think they're being cautious, but he's been out quite a bit. So with that said, I'd like to see what Downs can do from a legitimate safety spot as opposed to in the box. We've seen him do a ton of amazing things in the box right now or the slot. I'd like to see what he can do up there too. I know what he can do from college, but I like to see it on the practice field. Let's get some action up there. I don't even care. I don't care if it's a negative play. I just want to see, okay, he made the bad play. Will he make it twice? Just want to see some action up there. Gosh, Chaz Green. Looked over here, somebody said more Revel highlights would be nice. Rev is stacking though. You know, at least he getting on the board. You know what I mean? Revel getting on the board. Speaking of which, did you guys get a chance to go listen to Coach Christian Parker as Ryan Flournoy is getting some work in individual drill? Shouts out to Flo, having a fantastic camp so far. You guys happen to go listen to Christian Parker speak yesterday for the first time at camp. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. But I kind of want to talk about a few of the young bucks that he talked about. So in our camp sound check, I want to lean on the Barham and Revel conversation. So they asked him about Barham, and he said, we had a vision for him in the draft process, and it's coming to life. There was a point in time going into camp, and I said this before, it felt like, okay, we got D Winters, Demo, those are guys. There'll be a chaos role for Barham to figure out, right? But then as things started to happen at minicamp, I'm like, are we sure this linebacker thing is settled? And it is not. And that's because this guy right here is making it uncomfortable for said veterans. But this is something cool he also said in regards to Jayshon Barham, which applies to a lot of other guys. He said, we talk about a constant educational approach with the young players, allowing them to keep it simple and clean, to play fast by elevating their knowledge of the game so we can execute and maximize each call. Low key, that's a lot right there. That's a lot of awesomeness. And here's why. I don't think we understand just how much you can hinder your playbook if a guy don't know what the hell he doing, but you have to rely on him. Kenneth Murray. That's messed up, but you get what I'm saying. If you're limited up here, it means I probably can't call this play. So when he says we want to elevate their knowledge of the game so we can execute and maximize each call, that's the big part right there. We don't want to have Barham out there or whoever out there, and we can't make this call because he just can't. He can't get to it. He can't do it. He mentioned we know he has the physical. In fact, he's the prototype, if you will, paraphrasing, of how we want to play defense. And I said this before, and he's not going to be a rah-rah leader. He doesn't need to be. He can lead by example on the field. But if you don't got a guy at that second level that is the epitome of what you want to be defensively, which is a physical bunch, and usually that second level, that guy, that middle linebacker or that leader, if it's a will, whatever, how he plays, is how your defense is perceived. I noticed that with the Cowboys. LVE was very much a soft, and soft could be finesse. Let me use that. A finesse player in that second level. Cowboys are very much a finesse defense, at least in the run game for damn sure. Barham in the middle of the defense epitomizes what this physical, strong, squaring up, no nonsense. If you're not going to upgrade the damn position, let the young man gain and gain trust and reps so we can be ready week 1 and beyond. But when you talk about that knowledge, you talk about brain work. And another thing that he said was, and this is for Savon Revel, and then we're going to look at some more clips here. Savon Revel, and it's so funny, I mentioned this offline to Foots the King. I'm like, hey, the only thing we haven't heard about Revel is the brain work. We've heard all the physical stuff. So somebody asked him about it, and this was a long quote, so hear me out. He said the next step for him, Savon Revel, is to be able to live on a single play. And he says, what I mean by that is, what's the split here? What's the situation? Who am I defending with a certain play call? Because he has all the physical attributes, so everything with him now is working on everything from the neck up. Just make sure we're thinking the game properly. He don't play about smart dudes. That's a quick 2 or 3 second assessment, because once you get in your stance and you're ready to play ball, you want to play with a clear mind. So being able to do that and finish plays, he's doing a good job. He's extremely hardworking. He wants to be coached. He runs towards that. We are real excited about how he's progressing with everything we're doing so far. And I bring that up because we often hear about the brain work with Caleb Downs. We often hear about the brain work with some other players. We even heard about Malik Hooker. Revel, given that he didn't play a whole lot his last year in college, and he went from that college to the pros in this scheme that did not fit, didn't have camp, barely played during the regular season, and then he comes into a scheme that requires the brain work. That's a lot, man. So to see him progressing in that manner, or at least that's where they're tracking him to be, is good news. But the brain work part is heavy, and let me tell you why. Because you see a guy like Kobe Durant. Deron Bland has the brain work. That's not an issue. It's can he physically freaking play the game because of his foot? I don't think Christian Parker will hesitate to play those two guys over Revel if he's developing that aspect. It's not to say he's behind or anything, but again, he's a very young player in a scheme that's going to rely on the brain work. You see George Pickett, boy. This is what I can't wait for when Voch get out there. This is the footage we're going to get from Voch. We ain't getting a whole lot of this footage right here. We ain't getting a whole lot of that. So the brain work aspect, Jay-Sean Barham, Coach CP talked about how they're still working on different combinations at inside linebacker. So that begs the question here, Cowboys Nation. Does Demo have to play in the preseason? Does Winners have to play? You don't have this. You don't have a Sean Lee out there that's proven and all that. He doesn't need to play. You don't have a Roquan Smith, Fred Warner. He doesn't need to play. If there's a legitimate competition, and you damn sure better play Jay-Sean Barham. He's a rookie. I'm not hearing that. I guess you can't play Demo because you're scared he's going to get hurt. Winners is a veteran, but Winners has 1 year of experience, and this is a different scheme. And don't you want to get on tape how these guys play in your scheme with the bullets flying? I think you got to play it. You got to play some of them dudes. I'm telling you right now, You get Jayshawn Barham out there and Demo don't want to play, or not want to play. Demo doesn't play, Winters doesn't play, and Jayshawn Barham out there just. Okay. I didn't draft you, Demo. Is Demo on the leadership? No, okay. Roy said, did the brain work for Boss Man Fat? Let me tell you something right now. Christian Parker would have took one look. Okay, he's physical. What about him? Oh, nah, coach. He be in the studio. You mean the meetings? No, he in the stew. What you talking about? He got an album coming. Next. That man ain't on this team. What you talking about? Now with this coach? Small says Shamar and Barry are going to get a lot of preseason. For sure. All the backups are going to get a lot of preseason. But I wonder how much of the Barham, I don't think Demo, he too injury prone, they scared. But how much Barham and Winters are going to play early, the first couple series, et cetera, et cetera. And if Barham wins the middle linebacker, they might sit his ass down after one game. What's good, Rel? Come on now, y'all know dang well he ain't drafting that man. All right, we got some one-on-one happening here. Pickens versus Revelous, and we just talked about it. Here we go. Stay with him, but he's so handsy, man. So handsy. But that he knows that though. So this is not something that he is unaware of. You gotta trust your physical ability, Red. You're running with him. Nuance right there, y'all. Sorry, apologies. Look at the dip from see, GP knows who he's going up against. This is a physical guy, wants to get his hand. Watch the dip from GP. Right there. That's beautiful. That allows me to keep my momentum forward. And he just know, look, we might be even. But what they say, if we even, I'm leaving. Just throw it up there. Now, get your hands off, turn around. This is where the new one, and I bet you coach is coaching him up here. Bro made that catch too. I mean, it is George Pickens, right? Look, it is George Pickens. Oh, he got the end of this one. Damn, I wanted to see the beginning. All right, here we go. Joe Hoyt got it. Man, that's so good. Do y'all understand how good that is from GP? That's beautiful. I'm gonna show you my shoulders. Psych. Now get off of me, young man. Late hands. Beautiful. George Pickens one of the best. George Pickens, if he keep his head straight, top 3. It's there for him. Top 3. Beautiful. Just a beautiful play. I like this one better. So yesterday, we talked about this is much better in my opinion. There was a play where Downs was on Turpin, and I thought in the NFL, and again, this is one-on-one drills, but in the NFL, that was wide open. But this one, it seems like I don't have the other angle. Much better, tighter coverage. Granted, he did catch the rock, obviously. So I guess you say this is a dub, but I think this is pretty solid coverage going up against a really quick slot guy. And Turp played a little bit at the line of scrimmage, but again, it's a one-on-one drill. Like all that right there is just unnecessary. Attack his left upside or shoulder, and then come back in. But I mean, he got the job done. To me, this reminds me of the dudes who now play basketball, coach basketball. All that extra, yeah, man, just watch his hips, bro. The hips don't lie. Shouts out to Shakira. Don't follow the ball. Don't follow his shoulder. All that nonsense. Watch his hips, man. And Caleb Downs is not phased at all with all that and one stuff that he's doing. He stay right with him. This is a good rep by Caleb Downs. CD Duran, everybody getting some work. Here we go. That's just being physical, bro. That's just being physical right there. Good stuff, CD. That's reminiscent of old 88, right? That's reminiscent of old 88. Just gotta be straight. That's just getting the weight room type stuff right there. Now we got downs against Flo. So now this is what I like here, because Flo's going to play in the slot. This is what he'd be considered a big slot. You're going to see him in there a lot more, I think, this year. That's a good route. I don't know if that's a legitimate route or he just running on air, but he sold the hell out of this. Oh, that's beautiful. That was quick too, but that's just, you can't beat that for real, for real. So Flo, to me, he's selling like, all right, I'm trying to fake the inside. Now I'm going to run upfield. Nope. Quick out. You can't beat a good route like that plus the throw. Sell the outside. Get my head around. It's over. As long as that get it out there, it's over. That is what you call wide open in the NFL. Much better route against Terp as opposed to this right here. But man, Flo special. Let me tell you about what Coach Adams said about Flo. The nuance. And this is kind of what we're talking about, right? The nuance of that route. But he mentioned he understands the nuance of the play calls. He was like, there's certain people where, all right, first year in here, you're keeping it black and white because it's a new scheme. But then there are players who reach a point to where, hey, coach, need a little more gray area here. This is, you know, what's next? I understand why we're doing this, but okay, how can I get better within said play? Yeah, great route, man. Great route. Keystone, what's good, bro? If you want to go check out Joe Hoyt's article, he talks about what Coach Shoddy said about Donovan Zaraku getting ejected. I think he threw a punch. Got a different angle of the Deron Bland versus, I mean, it's just being physical, man. Just being physical. Eee, I don't like that. Amir Speed. Okay, Amir Speed with the pick. It's the kid from the USFL. MVS. Gotta get that ball out there. Who that? Who's the Q? Sam Howell. Gotta put that out there, man. But this is good. Okay, so look. This is what you want Savon Revel to do here. Now, granted, he didn't press, but I got a little physical here, but I don't think they're calling it. Get your head around. This is great coverage. Now, obviously, you got some space, but I think, excuse me, Speed saw the ball in the air, adjusted, gets the pick. This is a great rep by Speed. I didn't realize he was that lanky. What Speed go about 6'3", because MVS is a legitimate 6'4". That is a good rep by Amir Speed, ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, we do have some injury news to discuss here quickly. Just as we were talking greatly about Otito Agbanya, who's having a great camp. He just walked into the medical tent and is getting looked at. Otito Agbanya has entered the medical tent, and we don't know exactly what it is about just quite yet. So let's hope and pray Otito Agbanya is good to go, man. This is the part that worries me a little bit. And I said this on the collective, y'all. The reality is guys are going to get hurt. And it took, the excitement is there for camp. We're always excited. We think of the best case scenarios, as we should. We don't want to think worst case, but you should prepare for worst case. So when Demo got dinged up the other day, when Tyler Guyton got dinged up the other day, I said, okay, put me back to reality a little bit here. These things are going to happen. It's a long season. It's a physical sport. Honestly, that part of it, the team who's probably the most healthy or the deepest, which is harder to do in the NFL, is likely the team that's going to be sticking around come playoff time and go on a run, right? Those are some of the things. So when that happened, it reminded me that, all right, Sky, just because you feel good about this part of the top layer of the roster, guys are inevitably going to get hurt. Do you feel good about this part and that part and this part and that part? And on the collective, I said there's certain parts of the team I feel good about the depth. Then there's other parts that, no. If one of your guys go down, I don't even got to be the top guy. If it could be the second guy on the chart. Do you feel good about rolling that out there for 3, 4, 5 games or beyond? Some positions, yes. Some positions, I do not. So we're going to see. Hopefully, Tito is good to go, though. Kenny Clark getting some work here. I think he's going to have a good year, man. Here's Tito. So I don't know how long ago this was, Tommy Yards. But Tito is back there, so I wonder if this happened during a drill. I wonder if this happened during a drill. Something to keep in mind. As these guys ramp up for the team period, let's play a little game, man. Nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. We're going to call it overreaction or reality, okay? And we just got done talking about some positions I feel good about the depth or not. And one of them is tackle. I don't feel good about the tackle depth. So, overreaction or reality. Tyler Guyton has turned the corner at left tackle. Overreaction or reality? Let me know in the chat. Tyler Guyton has turned the corner at left tackle. We're 6 practices in. Now, this isn't read and overreact, okay? This is a legitimate question here. Toxic Tom said overreaction for now. User K5 said reality. Lots of overreaction. And the clutch says overreaction. Obviously, overreaction. Got to see it. Hopefully, reality. The overreaction part is fair. Because again, we're in training camp day 6. They haven't gone up against any monsters just quite yet. He's going to go up against a gauntlet. So overreaction is fair. Here's what I do think is reality, though. I do think he has improved in certain areas that you can already see via film. Well, I shouldn't say film, via some of these practice reps. I do think his patience has improved. I do think his ability to run block looks like it has improved. Let me tell you why it has to be an overreaction right now. The physical stuff, we believe Tyler was always going to get to me, it's about the consistency. So until we see the consistency, it's fair to say overreaction. We're not far off from reality, though. It's going to take that consistency. So let's do this throughout the entirety of camp. Let's get the preseason, dominate that first series or second series, right? Whatever, how many snaps you're going to play. Go up against Miles. I'm not asking you to win every rep. No, I'm not even asking you to win most. I'm asking you to fight. And I'm asking you to win some reps against Miles and Byron Young. Maybe we're going to get Aaron Donald to that's a whole nother conversation. So right now I'm going to go overreaction. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Next one. Oh my God. Jesus, man. Jayshawn Barham, ladies and gentlemen, is being looked at in the Cowboys medical tent. You know, just as we said, this is what I'm saying, man. The excitement of camp really, I'm gonna speak for me. I can't speak for everybody else. It warps my mind to the point where it's like, you know, everybody gonna stay healthy. Man, awesome. Then reality smacks you in the face that, hey man, it's a game of attrition. Like, this is going to happen. Do you have the depth? Do you have the horses behind to keep things going? So I'll keep you guys updated on what we hear about Jayshawn Barham and what we hear about Tito. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Shouts out to Nick Harris. Says Agbanya is out of the tent and back on the field. So that's good to know in regards to Otito Agbanya. But I'm a little bummed right now on Jason Barham. So, wait a minute. Oh, that's Otito. All right. Here we go. So now we got some 7-on-7 drill. And this is, sorry, y'all. Deron Bland gets his hands on the ball in the 7-on-7 against George Pickens. It's the difference in running on air, right? You get some help on the inside so you can play a little bit different. It's a good rep. That's a good rep. I wouldn't call that the crispiest route for a pick, but for a pick, it really does not matter on the slant. Just get, as long as he got his body in front, put the ball in the vicinity, and pick usually will snag that. I'd like to see a different angle. It could have been a drop here or a PBU. Can't really tell, but this is, I mean, good coverage. I will say this. I mean, this camp, and I'm not going to overreact. Speaking of overreaction or reality, to anything Deron Bland, I'm 10 toes on this. I'll admit to you guys, I said this before. Bland, speaking for me personally, is going to have to earn it for me during the season because, you know, we heard, DB's cool, DB's fine, you know, no worries. And then he really was hurt. But so far, so good, it seems, from a physical standpoint. So good rep. Weird route. I don't know what he was trying to sell with that shoulder thing there, but good stuff from Deron Bland. Small said hopefully just some cramps or something. They said it actually pretty hot out there relatively. And let me tell you this, hot in Oxnard is like 82 degrees, bro. That's hot in Oxnard. The weather in Oxnard crazy. Okay. Oh, did we get some audio? Let's see if we can get some audio, because John Machota said Cowboys rookie linebacker Jason Barham heading to the locker room sounded like he said he's good. Let me see if we can get some audio for you here. Let me turn this off. We're gonna investigate. I can't hear now. But see, you know, Jay Sean is a man of few words, you know. So Jay Sean Barham he probably didn't even say I'm good. He probably said, "Hey Jay Sean, how you feeling?" He's good, y'all. Everything's good, y'all. Hey, Jay Sean, you all right? Me up. Say less. Put him in the locker room. Make sure he all right. Damn, I hope he all right, man. It is what it is. Mel said 82 is hot. That's that weather. Mel, you over there. 82 degrees ain't no goddamn hot, bro. It's not hot. It might be hot in Oxnard, because Oxnard, you know, let me turn this down. Oxnard, they're used to 70 something. Sun go down is in the 60s. 82 degrees is hot. Now, see, I might be skewed because I was in Dallas for so long, bro. 82 degrees is considered cold. That's a cold front coming in Dallas if it's 82 degrees. Till said it's 99 in Dallas. That's what I'm saying. Like, 82 degrees. God, I hope AJ Sean's all right, though. Yeah, that's pretty much the talk of town right now. If you're looking at the headline of the day so far, if we wanted to do that, is Jay Sean Barham, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully we'll continue to monitor the situation, but I kind of want to get back to this game if we can take our mind off of it for a little bit. Overreaction or reality? Kobe Durant is cornerback number 1 for this team. I'm very curious to see what you guys say about this one. Overreaction or reality? Kobe Durant is cornerback CB1 for the Cowboys. Very curious to see your thoughts, because I have a nuanced thought here. Reality, mad overreaction. 96 is illegal. Recruiter says Rev is one. Overreaction, reality, overreaction. Okay. A little more overreactions than I thought. But lots of overreactions. Rev says it's a bad thing if it's the case. All right. So there's levels to it. You can say Kobe Durant's having the best camp of the cornerbacks. You can say Kobe Durant's the most proven. You can say Kobe Durant is the biggest dog, whatever you want to call it. But boy, you better hope Kobe Durant ain't cornerback one. Here's why. Cornerback one, right? We're talking about going to guard the top dog. We're not talking about being in the slot. We're not talking about mostly playing off and talking about sometimes you gotta go up against the CD Lambs and the Pickens of the world on the other teams. Can Kobe do you trust Kobe to do that down and down out? He a dog. He gonna fight. He probably can win some reps for sure. Kobe Durant has been the best cornerback in camp. It's an overreaction though. He's cornerback one. Timmy says, Sky, when does training camp end? August 25th or something like that? Toxic said he's the most proven cornerback, health and resume for sure. Kobe ain't never been cornerback one anywhere. So I don't think he is just quite yet here. And if he is, like we said, that might be a problem. Here's some information on the cornerback situation. Looks like Deron Bland is not doing any work in the slot this year, at least at camp. So Durant and Caleb Downs are likely to man that slot position. Revel and Bland on the outsides. They have the build to play it out there. So if Kobe ain't one, I don't think we necessarily. It's probably It's probably Deron Bland by default, but I feel like he has to earn that. Revel is still learning and earning it too. I don't know that we just have this no worries about it cornerback one yet. I think they got to earn our respect for the cornerback one. Somebody got to be it. It's probably Bland, but I tell you what, I don't really care though if Durant's cornerback one, as long as he's on the field. I think right now he has to be on the field. I think he's earned that. 100%. I trust Durant more than any of them right now. Any of them. Okay, my last one. Overreaction or reality here. Jaden Blue is ready for a larger workload. Overreaction or reality. Jaden Blue is ready for a larger workload. I like this question, Brian Tim. I'm gonna get to it in a second, man. Appreciate you for the super chat. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I do not lose this. So I'm gonna do this right here. Bang, bow from Brian. Let's see here. For the first time, we got a lot of reality here, and I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all. I agree. You could say it's overreaction because it's camp. I get it. However, the reason why I believe it's reality is not because of what I think. It's because of what the staff thinks based off of what they're doing. Their actions are speaking it into reality. We talked about the running back rotation a lot. Let me see if I can find that right quick. Here we go. We talked about this running back rotation a lot this offseason. I've come to the conclusion, for me, it legitimately should be a rotation. It legitimately should be 3 guys working this thing through a 17-game season. And for me, I think these are the 3 guys. Now, we get to preseason. Guys like Malik Davis, who is a proven veteran, it's fine to keep around. Israel, Wakanda forever. He made a nice play the other day. Was on the practice squad last year, brought him back, and he should get a lot of opportunity in preseason. But these 3 feel like, you're talking about all 3 of these dudes working with the ones, by the way. That's how you can tell. You see Phil Maffa getting work with Dak in the ones. You obviously see Jaden Blue because he brings that element. I don't think the way the roster is constructed right now, a legitimate RB2 situation exists. I think what you need to start thinking about is a committee with a lead dog, meaning, all right, Jay Will going to get the 17 to 20 touches, but then we're going to sprinkle in some Jaden Blue. He might get 5-6 in the game. Phil Maffa might get 5-6, depending on the game flow, what have you, right? Hey, Jay Will tap himself on the head. Phil Maffa's having a good day. Let's keep running him the way we would run Jay Will. Blue likely doesn't. It doesn't matter what happens with Jay Will Maffa. Blue's role probably doesn't change just yet. Blue got to earn that. But it feels like he is earning a larger role, not based off of how I feel. He's working with the ones. We see him out there. And then we see why he's earning it, right? Pass protection is much better. Picking up, he's sticking his nose in there. He's catching a rock out the backfield. We see the vision. It's slow. The game is slowing down. The maturity. Everybody saying maturity. Now it's one day at a time with him. But I think that is reality, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that is an overreaction at all. Appreciate you guys rocking. Hit that like button if you enjoy the show. Let's go ahead and get to some of these super chats. I appreciate y'all super. I might have to get that as my drop. All right, we got a dub dropped in the chat. Appreciate you. Jamal says, I drew your ire for saying we. Oh, is this Jamal from? Shouts out to Jamal from the collective. You ain't drawing my ire. You got Durag Sky. Let me go over here and read it. Let me see, because I'm a little blind. Here we go. I drew your ire for saying we'd be a top 10 defense, but wanted to point out that the Broncos twice since 2020 went from bottom 5 to top 10. We got action, boss. You didn't draw my ire for that. I can tell you're new here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a new guy. Appreciate Jamal. I hope you enjoy the channel. You didn't draw my ire for that, bro. I don't care about you saying Cowboys going to be a top 10 defense. I don't care about that. So I'm glad you're here, because now I can elaborate a lot more. I don't care if they're a top 10 defense during the regular season. I don't at all. You drew my ire because you said we was scary. You told us to stop being scary. I don't like that. My job is not to be pom-pom cheerleader. Yay, Super Bowl Cowboy. There's a whole other channels for that. Go to another channel if that's what you want. I keep it a buck here. Those who have been here know how I feel. I cannot fake the funk, bro. I can't do it. I've never tried, so maybe I could. I don't know. But if I don't feel great about a situation, I'm gonna tell you why I don't. And here's why. And here's what I hope happens so I can. If I feel great about a situation, I will tell you that. It's not being scary. It's being real. So if you want a pom-pom cheerleader channel, this ain't the one for you, boss. This ain't the one for you, but I appreciate the dub. But I don't care about top. Y'all worried about arbitrary numbers. I don't care about that shit. Remember I told y'all, I don't care where they rank Dak. I don't care where the Cowboys offense is number 1, number 2. I don't care no more about them numbers, because they don't mean shit when we get to the playoffs. They don't. The Cowboys can be a top 15, 14, 16 defense during a regular season, but be a top 5 in the postseason. I've seen this before. I've seen us go from terrible franchise defense in 2020, and then in 2021, oh, we flipped the script, bro. We're top 10, as you would say, Jamal. Yeah, in certain things we were. In other things we weren't. And when we got to the playoffs, those things that we weren't showed up. When we got to the playoffs, that top 10 defense of the things we were in disappeared. I do not care about top 10, top 5, I don't give a shit about none of that in the regular season. There are pillar stats I do care about, but damn it, even those pillar stats we were good at got to the postseason and the defense disappeared. So be top 10, top 5 in the playoffs. I don't give a damn. Because let me tell you what they weren't in that year in 2021. Let me tell you what they weren't. Cowboys at 21, when they went from bad defense to top 10, this is what they weren't top 10 in. Red zone defense, 18th. Rush yards per game, 16th. Yards per carry before contact, meaning the runway that these running backs got, 28th. Yards per carry in general in the ground, 23rd. How many big plays did the Cowboys give up? 20th. Cowboys got to the postseason. Top 10 defense, right? Oh, top 10 to score, top 10 third down, top 10 turnovers. The Cowboys have 2 turnovers. 2. In the postseason during that entire run. Both of them were a pick in the end zone against the Tom Brady and a pick against in 2021 against Garoppolo. That's it. But we were top 10. Did we play like it in the playoff? I don't give a shit about that top 10. You can be 15, 16, 17, and then there's teams who turn that shit on in the playoffs. So that's my whole thing. I didn't mean to go. Excuse me. Didn't mean to go off on a tangent. I apologize. But I'm glad you came here because that's exactly what I wanted to be able to explain that to you without messing up the flow of the show. All right, here we go. Kevontae Turpin, Caleb Downs, and Ryan Flournoy are getting reps at punter. All right. Nothing has changed yet. We don't got any team reps going on. Another super chat. And I'll visit the chat to see if y'all understand what I'm saying. Matter of fact, let me go over here. JNY Blue. Drop 10. Appreciate you. I didn't press my button.
Super chat.
Did you see the interview from CP yesterday? He was asked about JB, Jayshon Barham. He said he's okay. Then he was asked about span forward. He said he's good to go. Why would Christian Parker be talking about span forward? But yeah, we talked about Christian Parker and Jayshon Barham, what he said about for sure. Let me see, chat. Do y'all feel what I'm saying, man? Do you feel what I'm saying? I've been here before. You can call me because I'm a jaded Cowboy fan that's fine. That's fine. But how many times have we had, even in that run? Oh, well, the Cowboys were top 10 in this and that and get to the playoffs. Where was that? Arbitrary numbers, I don't care about. I don't. Then there was one more. Good question by Brian. Where was that question? I said I wanted to save it. Here we go. Which camp standout do you trust to carry his performance in the actual games, and which one might be creating fool's gold? It's a good question. Here's the thing. Do we have enough evidence to ask that yet? Right? We have 2.5 practices in pads, 5 total practices in general. Now we're on day 6. I would wait probably to the preseason, but I'll answer your question. Which camp standout do you trust to carry his performance into actual games? Number 1 for me is Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant has done it. Somebody the other day, I think it was on the collective, said, well, I was fooled with Kyrie Elam. Or we were fooled with Kyrie Elam. Uncle Phil said, we? No.
Let me talk.
There's no we. Kyrie Elam had film as a professional cornerback that said we need pause here. Plus, also was told that he also had some decent camps in Buffalo and it never materialized. So to me, I was like, we just gotta wait. Kobe Durant has legitimate film over the last 4 years of being a solid guy, a good player. So I think he can carry over that success to the regular season. And the other part was, and which one might be creating fool's gold? It's a good question. Who y'all think? Who y'all think might be creating fool's gold? Because I don't have a definitive answer just yet, because there's not a ton of people who are just popping that have me like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a beast. I haven't ran into that yet. I guess maybe some people might say Guyton, because I think Guyton's had a good camp so far. Sam Williams has had some plays, but I wouldn't go that far to say, oh, fool's gold. I mean, Sam, I think, is who he is. And if you get anything on top of that, that's actually not fool's gold. That's you want to see the hands, you want to see the added stuff. I think we know who he is. Mel says bland, but is he having that type of camp though? Standout camp? I feel like bland is bland, but yeah, that could be a good one. Toxic. Now that's a one right there. Rashawn Gary. Better hope that ain't fool's gold. Here we go. Dak Prescott to Cavante Turpin. Wide open. Oh, can we get another view? I want to see how he got that. Oh, that's right. We ain't allowed to get another view. Damn, at least let us see the O-line. Oh, y'all can't see. Apology. At least let us see the O-line. Hold on, I want to bring this up here. We got that there. Bing. Bow. Can y'all see this? Y'all think Clark and Quinn gonna lead the team in sacks? Oh, my bad. I was looking at Clark. Y'all probably, what the hell you talking about, Scott? I was looking at Clark right here. Let me do this right here. Y'all think Clark and Quinn can lead the team? Has that happened? Or two defensive tackles lead the team in sacks? Hell of a rep. Hell of a rep. You got some Jake Ferguson action here. Oh, now you want to talk about overreaction? I'm gonna just shut up. All I'm gonna say is I believe Jake Ferguson. We will see a lot more down. His yards per reception are not gonna be as bad. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what I'm feeling like right now. All right, let's see offensive line, which is hard to see because they've been a bit tight. Who was Terrence going up against? Looked like that might have been Lawrence. He got a little dip on his chip, and I like that. Good stuff, though, by Ferg and Dak. That's just easy money. Here's a wider view of the play of Turpin. Wider-ish view. Let me just say that. Looks like a game, too, up front. Can y'all see that? It's not as wide. So it looks like Quinn is not attacking upfield. He's attacking laterally to get after Guyton. I don't know if there was I can't tell because they're not wide. If there was a outside linebacker. All right, here we go. I think this is the play. Man, hey, y'all, we doing a lot of super wide 9. We getting wide on this. Oh, okay, so they drop back. Bet. That's interesting. We're showing game, right? We're showing a TE stunt. But it's not. I kind of like it. Hey, defensive line gurus or defensive linemen in the chat. I kind of like this because what it does is it takes away Tyler Smith. So T Sizzle, obviously, he thinks that's his guy. But Quinnen he doesn't care about getting upfield. He's just trying to draw Tyron Smith and get to Tyler Guyton. Wants to make this look like a game. Good on Tyler Guyton realizing, okay, he's dropping back and he gets his eyes right back to Q. Good on him, right? That's a great rep by Tyler Guyton. But what it does is it frees up. It frees up Clark right here. Snatch technique, get the pressure. Again, the play was obviously wide open. I don't know what the hell happened back here. We probably won't know. But I just wanted to see the offensive line stuff. Miscommunication. Here we go. Probably the first miscommunication I've seen from the starting defense, Cavante Turpin wide open. We have not seen that. Correct. All right, this is the Jake Ferguson play. I just want to see it from this angle real quick. Okay, we got Sam Williams against deleted. Yeah, I just, Anything I can get from Sam, I'll take. You know, but at least he's not trying to run to contact. At least he tries something different. Okay, let's see here with T Sizzle. Patience. Did he get lifted a little bit? We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, let's catch up, y'all. Let's catch up. Brevin Span 4 with an impressive grab. Let's go, Brev. Let's see what we got. Oh, by the way, this is something I had wrote down. I haven't talked about out loud. May have hinted at it. Tight end 2 is no competition. Like theoretically, we thought that, but there is no competition. He is tight end 2. That needs to be reported, right? Somebody need to ask the question just to get it stamped. But the actions have proven Brevin Spanford is tight end 2. Close the damn book. Over. Stop playing with him. Let's look at the O-line. Again, love the fucking patience from Tyler Guyton. All right. A little help here. Good game. I mean, they didn't run into each other. We're running that game again with Maris, right? Get upfield, loop. There go T Sizzle, y'all. Or I'm sorry, Tyler Guyton, y'all. That's on Quinnen. Man, Tyler Guyton having a camp, man. Tyler Guyton having a camp. Let's see the other side. Kenny tried to run down the middle of Tyler Booker, and Tyler Booker said, "We're not having that, bro." This is just great blocking. Everybody up front wins. Terrence wins. Booker wins. Even BB catches the loop. Perfect. Just great protection. Great throw. Great catch. Chef's kiss of a rep. Let me see what y'all saying about that. Your boy said, "Swear Guyton heard everybody talking mess." Tyler, hey man, look. Again, overreaction to reality. We talked about it. I mean, we still got long to go, but he's having a camp, y'all. Like if I had to rank my guys, he's in top 5. He's in there based off and we've watched just about every rep, we can watch together live. So this isn't me trying to overreact here. Brevin Spanford, another view here. Got some Javonte Williams action. Shouts out to Patrick No-C Walker with the slow down. That joint hard. All right. He got it late, though. We got it late. Got it late. Can't get too much from that, but all right, Jay Will, put on some burners then. There we go. Better angle. I wonder if they're working on stunts up front. Because I think Tito just did one too. Yep. A little bit. Or they maybe slanted. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, it looked like they slanted the defensive line here. I can't tell who this is. He fired right upfield and he got beat. See, with T Sizzle, we talk about he's not perfect. Coach Shoddy even mentioned it today that he got something. T Sizzle coming out. I keep saying Sizzle. Tyler Booker coming out struggled with those quick 3 techs and he kind of gets beat here, right? Get a little leany. Not sure who that is that got upfield on him. Look, gets a little beat there. That's all right. Win it back. Ooh, okay, this was a better angle to run. Javonte Williams got high praise. Cuzzo. O-line just look more. Hey, can I talk to y'all for a sec? Does the O-line just look and feel more together, more smooth, more? It just feels like they are clicked a lot. But even when they're losing, it happens, right? They're gonna lose. But it just feels like they are clicking a lot better than they did last year early on. Patience by Steele turns winners and opens up that lane. This physical football. Oh, y'all can't see it. I'm sorry. Like you do it, but this physical football, man, I got excited. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Teams are gonna, if the Cowboys defense can hold serve, teams are gonna hate with the game being in contention because when we run the ball, we're running the ball to take your head off, to wear you down. Who is that pulling? Is that fur? Is that Big Ten Wisconsin fur? Nope. I think that's span 4, bro. Y'all see that? Please tell me y'all see that. Please tell me y'all see that. Where we at here? That boy strong. Ooh. Overshown ain't moving him like he got old boy. That's not happening. And you got two dudes on coming on the pool. You got the big ass tackle or Tyler Guyton. Is that Tyler Smith? Big ass guard. Oh my goodness. He almost depleted Caleb Downs. Hey, chill out. Oh my God. He folded him. Y'all see that? He folded him. Hold on. All right, look, dog. Is that Caleb? Chill out on my guy. Chill out on my guy, man. Folded him. But watch this, though. Excellent blocking, bro. Excellent blocking. But you got to chill out on my guy. If the defense holds serve, y'all, that's all I'm saying. Teams are going to hate to play against this team. I put the shot where I thought Phil would be out, but now the burst was something. We'll say it again. He is faster than you think. I said this. I forget when we broke the running back room down. When we broke the running back room down, I went back, watched the film, both Clemson and in the preseason. I think because he's 6'1", 230 plus pounds, we just assume, power guy, whatever. Nah, he got impressive wiggle. He got some spunk to him for a big dude. And somebody in the chat was like, man, I don't, he doesn't run away from people, this and that. Look, that ain't his job. Ain't what he's supposed to do. However, I shouldn't say that ain't what he's supposed to do. He has multiple plays in college, literally running away from people. In a very similar fashion that we saw Javonte do it last year, where a couple big 30-yard, 60-yard runs. It's not his game, but he did it a few times. Phil ran away from people in college, so I would say go back and watch a little bit more. I want to see the whole line. Good recognition. Whole line looking good. Whoo. God damn, Tyler Booker punched the shit. Hey, okay, let me pull this up. Can y'all see over here? Right, keep your eyes right here. Yeah, right, yeah. Take a look at Tyler Booker. I think that's Sam. Punched the shit out of Sam. All right, let's go down the line here. Good stuff by T Sizzle. Tyler Guyton been fighting Quinnen, man. Okay, by the way, shouts out to, is this Mingo? Got to give props to Jonathan Mingo, right? You got to get in front of Caleb Downs. You got to seal. Kind of got over there, but that's got to give him props on that one. And then what about Lawrence? I almost called him DeMarcus on. Who that? Who get private spam? I don't care if it's a tell. You know, remember we used to bring in Noah Brown? Oh shit, Cowboys is running. I don't care. The brother spin forward and shit, the Cowboys is running, and do something about it then. It's like having another tackle. All right, here we go. George Pickens. Dak Prescott, the GP. Are you with me? That's just easy money. They fighting up front. T Sizzle and Quinnen fighting up front. I don't need to see that part. Quinnen gonna turn up. Oh, we got a PBU too. Turp. Okay, we got the second unit now. We wanted to see the second unit play a little better. So Drew Shelton's over here. I want to slow this down because, hey, shout out to my guy Tuck, man. Me and Tuck went back and forth. He said, hey, man, watch out for Drew Shelton, man. He might be the starter. Nah. No, sorry, Bobski. That boy ain't ready. But let's see what Drew got on this play. All right, got out of stance real good. Patience with the hands. Punch. Good rep. I don't know who he against. I think that's Maris, maybe. I don't want to. That's a good rep for him. Here go Nate Thomas. All right. Good rep from Nate. 77 got beat. That interior got whooped. Is this TJ Bass? Yeah. Interior got beat on that one, though. LT Overton sighting. I haven't seen LT Overton this camp. There he is right here. Using his length. I can't get to the queue, so I will put my hand up and get the pass break up. LT Overton for me, barring any injury, is a year 2 guy. He's a guy that probably obviously makes the team, unless again injuries happen. Probably not going to be dressing on game day. Come back year 2, and you hope he's developed enough to where he's your staple, big end 5-tech type for this odd front. Joe Hoyt said Phil Maffa had a big run or a nice run, but didn't run all the way to the end zone. He turned around and started jogging back. Dak Prescott then told him to go to the end zone and score after the play. Leadership right there. Devin said Cuzzo, because Devin Overton. Vought sent me over, love the channel. Hey, appreciate it, man. It was Vought live. See, I got everything kind of. I got you, J.O. We gonna wrap. I'm gonna hit you up after this show. I got you. If Vought was live, my bad, bro. I would have told everybody to go holler at my brother, who will be up there, by the way, on Saturday. I won't be able to join him on the lives till Tuesday, but that's all right. That's all right. Let's keep it moving here. Okay. Oh, Tito back out there. Setting and pressing. Let me find you. Where you at? Tito right here. It's a big. Hey, y'all. If you like trench work, if you are into just the dirtiness of up front, just go look at some Otito Charger film from last year when he played, bro. He is a handful to do. I've seen him absorb a nasty pull, grab the guard. Actually didn't even grab him. He just manhandles the guard, throws him out the club, and makes the stop. Like, Tito tough, man. I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowler, but for this scheme, he tough. Devontae Turpin over the middle. I don't like that. I don't like that, but that's cool. We running that damn West Coast double slant shit. Is that what that was? Mm-hmm. Dak love this play, though. I bet you this is something Dak said, now let's keep this. The double cool, the triple, I get PTSD. But this is not a terrible play, to be honest. I'm just kind of, West Coast with old McCarthy. That double slant was a killer in 23 because it puts that pressure on that linebacker. If he commits here, which he did, then you got here we go. We talked about having coverage dealing with the slot. Then it puts pressure on that backside if it's zone. If it's man, then it's just, all right, I'm one-on-one. I'm going to trust my receiver. But I get PTSD when you're throwing to the little guys across the middle of the field. Not the biggest fan of it, but hey. More GP. Play breakdown. Okay. Hey, we got to show some love to the big fella. Jay Toia get lost a little bit in this defensive tackle room. Okay? Gets lost a little bit. But this is a dub right here. And I don't view him as a pass rushy type. But this is a dub right here. Gets underneath the pads. I think that's because BB missed with his hand. Right. No, just strong pass rush. That's why he flushes Dak out. That's why Dak is rolling out. I wonder if that's a sack or not. Good play by Jay Toia, man. He gets lost in this shuffle, as he should, right? I think he's probably DT 6 at this point, 5, 6, and they're not going to carry that many. But if you can get them on the practice squad, continue to develop, you like to see it. There was another play we might have missed here. Is this the same Kamante Turpin? Or yeah, it's the same George Pickens play. I believe we already saw. Yep. Kenny Clark blows up a run play from Tommy Yarish here. Let's run it back, and then we slow it down. I think we're going to get a lot more, and I would love to bring John on about this, because one of the things I said about the linebacker aspect, here's what I think, and how we're going to play this, the stack shell, and I think we will, but also we don't know just quite yet. And listening to Ross Winchy, we may be getting a little bit more blitzing from this team than a traditional Vic Fangio defense, who the last 2 years in Philly, they were quite literally the least blitz team per Pro Football Reference. I wonder if we're going to get a little bit more of this, and you can see Winters kind of blitzing here, and we free up Kenny. Was that a game? Hey, see, this is where I want John. Yeah, that's interesting, because this is on a run play. I'm telling you, those two guys are going to be fantastic together, man. Fantastic. Hey, John, absolutely. I got you next week. Let's do it. Let's do it. Joe Milton looking deep and finds no. Whoa. I almost found somebody. Ooh, 77. They putting that boy in a damn. They working him. Ooh, that's a good rep up front right here. Okay, Drew. I mean, he got beat towards the end, but he fought. Whoever 65 is, he threw this shit out of hell. Who's 60? Let me go. I'll make sure. I don't want to be a bad host. Let me go see. I don't want to be a bad host here. God damn, can you tell me? Can you get me the numbers? All right, whoever 65 is, they not really let me do the numbers like I want to be. Oh, that was Cornelius. Let's go back. They got Cornelius at guard? Huh. Interesting. Or is this big tat? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. They're working Cornelius at guard. Cross training, I suppose. Tommy, I think this is the same play from Tommy Yarish here. Yep. I'm not worried about Caleb though, bro. I'm not worried about Caleb. Another play. Says active day for George Pickens. Oh, I think this is the same. Okay, yeah, this is the same play. No. Wait a minute now. Nah, same play, because Toia got upfield. But it has been an active day for George Pickens. Not a lot of CD Lamb. I do wonder if they're holding out on CD Lamb right now, man. Small said, yeah, Cornelius and Pete are getting guard reps. Interesting. Again, they're trying to figure out this depth situation. I have no problem. If you go back and you look at our practice board, that's what I'm looking for. Looking for the offensive line to step up, right? Depth. Offensive line depth to step up. So I'm not mad at them trying to figure that aspect out. Hey, Tommy Yard's camera go hard. I ain't gonna hold you. Now they're in the Brandon Aubrey field goal situation. I remember when I was out there, Brandon Aubrey went 5 of 6 on his field goal attempts. We were in a battle between Maha and I forget his name. It was a Hispanic fella. I think he went to USFL or something. And I forget his name. Hallelujah. That was the other one too. That boy had no power at all. Then Maher gets there, starts booting them things. I'm like, yeah, there we go. That's our guy. It feels good not to have to worry about kicker right now. Feels good. Shouts out to Nicole Hutchinson getting this dive and catch from Brevis Span 4 that we talked about earlier. That's a big fella. Oh, did he miss that? One thing to pay attention to in preseason, there's not a lot of tells, but one of the biggest tells in preseason in regards to who may make the roster or be a contributor, if you will, on game day is special teams. Who's running out there with the first unit on special teams? Kickoff, punt, kick coverage, kick return, field goal. Those things do matter when you're talking about, okay, is this dude going to make the team? Well, he didn't get in there on special teams till the fourth quarter. Probably not. Probably not. Oh, that was Shy-Ass Pete out there too? Okay. Rod Trap said, Maher was fun when he was on, but man, he just had to be a damn roller coaster. It really was that Tampa Bay game, bro. That Tampa Bay game. And it started in Washington. Similar with, I ain't going to speak it in existence, but Brandon Aubrey, they miss kicks and walk. I don't care how big your leg is. That field, that in December, is just not friendly to kickers. It's very weird. It's kind of similar to Pittsburgh. You get the wrong day in Pittsburgh, bro. Good luck kicking a field goal. Good luck. Here we go. Ryan Flournoy. Another big grab from Nick Harris here. Couple rollout. Now the other one was a legitimate pressure, but let's see the offensive line. Okay. We're just okay. This is okay. I thought we were just baiting Gary, letting him run free upfield and have to decide, but I could be wrong here. Normally, we would see the motion from the tight end, and then we'd get Ferg out on the route on this boot, rollout, flood type of concept, and we'd let this defensive end free. And so, if you guys do you guys remember this? It might have been under Garrett, it might have been under McCarthy. It was one of those regimes, but it happened a lot. We'd do this play. We would let Gary, whoever this guy would be, run up field free. We'd have no answer though if he didn't bite. So then what you see is Dak trying to fend off the damn and he'd throw a pick, or he'd take a sack, or just wouldn't be able to get the play off. I don't know if this is a wrinkle. Could have done this a million times, but it doesn't come to my head that we've done it a million times. But instead of just, all right, boom, we're going to release here. Here's my flat. Here's my shallow, and then there's my deep over for the flood concept, 3-level read. All right, we're going to let Gary free thinking he got something, and boom. Now Dak has more room to be patient, figure it out, find your guy. Could be overreacting here, but it seems like that's a bit of a wrinkle. Is that, you guys see where I'm coming from here? Feels like it's a bit of a wrinkle. What's going on here? Stephen Max said, y'all look at where Dak is located after the Mafia run. He's been doing this a lot too, by the way. And that's just Dak being Dak. Josh said that's just a good play design, Scott, for sure. But I'm not sure if you follow what I'm saying. So over the years, we wouldn't do that. Over the years, we'd let Gary in free with no backup plan, because that was kind of a normal play. But I think what happened was certain teams, certain edges, like, all right, I'm not buying this BS. Because that happens in the league, all right, we're going to let the edge run up free, and then we're going to put him in a bind. And it usually happens with teams who run read option, right? And especially the Eagles of the world, where they run the read option, where they have the pass and the run option, if you want to call it that. They have the pass and the run designed into play. But Dallas, he's not running. So when we used to do it, it's like he's never going to run. So if I'm the edge and I can see a tell, well, I'm just not going to rush upfield. And when Dak pulls it, boom, that's a sack, because I'm not worried about him running. So I wonder if they say, you know what, Dak getting a little older, we don't want him having to chase guys around. instead of just this being naked, pause if necessary, we'll keep Ferg in here. Now, would you like him out on a route? Sure, but there's going to be times you want to trip up the defense. So that's all I'm saying. It's a great call, Ja, but I don't know if we've seen that a ton in Dallas. I can't remember it, at least. If that makes sense. Yeah, Ty said, shout out to CP for moving Reddy Stewart to safety. I don't know if Reddy going to make the team, but they did put him back there. Finally got some CD Lamb action here, man. It's been a minute. Let's see. Just a simple out route. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Let me see. Gary out wide. Super wide, looks like. Dropping back. So somebody asked, might have been Jay. Somebody asked about, because I mentioned on Twitter, hey, we're seeing a lot of Gary dropping back. And if he can, I said, if he can add that to his toolbox, like we talked about the other day, that makes it tougher, right? That makes him more important. It makes it tougher for the offense to decide what's happening. Again, I believe this may be one of the reasons why they didn't want a Clowney, because Clowney just didn't do a whole lot of that. Probably didn't want to do a whole lot of that, but neither did Gary. Gary, go look at his career. He didn't drop back a whole lot, but he's probably more comfortable than a Clowney might have been in doing it, even though he didn't do it a whole lot. So this is something I believe he's going to have to get used to. I went back and looked again. All you can go off is data. I mentioned this some months ago when the whole Clowney discussion came up. You go look at Nolan Smith. You go look at, hell, even you go look in Denver. Josh Sweat. These guys drop back 30, 40, 50 times. So our edges, our outside linebackers are going to have to drop back more than 8 times that Gary did. It's going to have to happen. So just get ready for a little bit more of that. And he takes that away. So, I mean, he didn't go that way, but got a Ferg sighting again. We ain't seen a single flat route to Ferg all camp. We got drumsticks, baby. That's all I wanted to say, y'all. We ain't seen a single all flat fried hard to Ferg all camp. Anyway, let's see. Here we go. See, dropping back, right? We talked about the outside linebackers dropping back. Malachi Lawrence right here. Good protection, I think. Put it in the area, bro. But Ferg got a man. Ferg, all right, bro. Ooh, like the design too. And you could tell CD's just a clear guy. Ain't even looking for the ball, bro. Just clear it out for that second level. Bunch formation. Hey, shout out to my guy Matt Owens. He loved bunch. On the motion too. Ooh, y'all know I love me some ass snap motion. Ferguson right here. You get physical at the line of scrimmage too. Get off me. Ferg, just don't fumble, bro. You'll be all right, man. They gonna love you again. Stop fumbling. Dr. Ryan Flournoy. Yeah, we are. I think this is the same play we talked about. We just kind of posted it a little later. But even on this side, Malachi Lawrence, we talk about dropping back, but peep James Houston. That's James Houston right there dropping back. So we're going to get a ton of zone blitz. So we're sugaring the A gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're sugaring the A gaps. Tends to trip up offensive line, right? But it didn't here, I don't think. I think we cool. I got to see another angle, but I think they picked that up really well. Let me slow it down. It's good work today from this offensive line. Somebody might have got through. I cannot tell from this angle, though. Somebody might have got through, though. I don't know if y'all can peep that. Somebody might have got through. But good stuff from Ferg. Good stuff from Dak to Ferg. Here's the other. Okay, here we go. Much better angle. Here we go. Let me slow it down. It might have been Winners. Yeah, I think Winners got through. Would he have affected the play? Not sure, but I feel like he got through. Like a cross dog here. This is what I love about the 3-4 or just sugaring and sim pressures in general, man. Like you can do so many things off of it, but we're going to cross these guys right here up front and we're dropping our edges. So we're still rushing 4 or 5. It's just coming from a different way. Now, I'm not sure if it got home. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah! They squabbling out in there. Yeah!
That's my favorite part. Anthony Smith and Kalen Carson. He said, look here, rookie. All right, now let it go, big dog. Let it go, big dog. I feel you, bro. If I'm a defender, I feel you. You guy, cool. We tangled up. We pissed off. Now let me go. Here's another angle. No punches thrown. Oh, no, I'm not letting you go. Not when you pulling me down like that. I'm not letting you go either. Get feisty with it. Josh Butler over there singing to him right now, man. Look, he said, all right, bro. Let me get my ass back here because I'm trying to make the team. I feel you, Josh Butler. CeeDee Lamb. I think we saw this play earlier. Damn, Tommy, your camera go crazy. You recording on a TV camera. Yeah, y'all see it? Winners got through, y'all. Winners got through. I wonder though. But let me tell you this about Dak. Dak was still throwing that shit. Dak would have got hit. There go Winners right there. Dak would have got hit, right? But I've seen him step up into Dexter Lawrence and launch that mother 30 yards downfield on a dime to Cooks. I think Dak still throws this, but Winners got through. You got to remember, last year, that was something that the interior had to work on, was those games and stunts up front. But Winners got through. I love a rush by Winners and good pull up. Got to give it to him. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Matt, Dak will toss that. He'd toss that mother. You damn right. And Winners is cool, but he's 6 foot, 230, 220, whatever it may be. He stepped into a 6'4", 325-pound monster of a defensive tackle and hit Cooks in stride. Think he's scared to step into that? No. You're not scared to step into that. D Winners all over this run play. Here we go. Good stuff from D Winners. We're not gonna revisit with D Winners. That's what we're gonna call them. Good trigger. Comes under control. Great stuff right there. See, this look, easy peasy, not touched, but there's people who are OC. There are players who are OC that run right into Ogbanya, that run themselves. Oh my goodness. So here we go. There are some players, young players, who will say, I got to get over top now because Ogbanya is in front of me, but I'm going to slow up, square up, find the ball, make the play in the backfield. Hunter Lipke got a sift right there. I mean, I would love to see another angle. But Hunter Lipke got to find D Winners unless, again, there's another angle where he got to get over here. Good stuff, D Winners. First team defense comes up with a big stop, says John Machota. Looks like a sack. Yep. Would love to see the coverage here. Hey, y'all. Cuzzo having a good day, too. Let me see here. I think Houston might have got Tyler Guyton today. Okay, on this one. I think that angle going to show Tyler Guyton was beat. Might have had a little hold, but that happens. Still think he's having a good day, but this is a good rep by Terrence. I think this is the last two practices have been much better for Terrence Steele, for sure. You got to give it to him, y'all. Yeah, Mac, I think TG might have got beat on that one. Hey, Ron said Dak is a psycho. I love it. Hey, you guys know this if you've been on the channel. There's certain quarterbacks when we study them and we're breaking the games down, offense versus offense, we'll label them arm arrogance. And the reason why I say that is because they have the arm to make these arrogant throws. There's like 5 of those quarterbacks in the league. Now, there's some backups that are just cuckoo and do that too. Dak, I wouldn't consider arm arrogance. He's just arrogant at this point now. He's just arrogant, bro. He's like, Dak, what you doing, man? But yeah, he's entered that realm of the game has slowed down so much for him, bro. There's no play he can't make. He feels like he can't make, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Steele and Booker were getting wrecked today, according to Jesse. Really? Okay, there might have been some reps that we missed, so I can't. Again, we only can see what we can see. But man, look like Steele to me was having a solid day. Let's get back over here. GP, are you with me? Another game. Look, you don't want to talk about quickness to deal with. Maris Leah found James Houston running this TE stunt. Well, this is just a stunt because they're not tackle in. Ass quickness to deal with, bruh. Looks like a dub on Guyton's side, though. Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson continues to stack good practices. Feel like he's been really good last couple. Something we talked about. First team offense struggling a bit late in practice. So maybe we got a fumble. Yeah. Justin Barron takes out Jordan Hudson's hands for the interception. Nick Harris. So we got our first pick from. Good play, Justin Barron. First interception, I believe, for Joe Milton. We got to catch that, Hudson. Let's see. I think this might have been a good throw, keeping him out of the hospital. Yeah, you kind of got to make the. I mean, you got to catch that, Hudson. If he leads him, he gets his head taken off. So you do this type of throw it back shoulder, protect your guy. Just got to catch that. I can't really put that on the quarterback. Whew. Hey, we might got Fergie back, bro. We might got Freaky Ferg back. Huh. We might got Freaky Ferg back. There was a play the other day, y'all. We broke down with not Jay Shumper. We broke down with Brevin Spanford, and we talked about the nuance of route running and how he's still learning that, and that's not an issue with Ferg. It's not this play that it reminds me of. It was the seam shot from a couple days ago. If you look at how Ferg set up that route at the stem at the top of the route, that's the nuance that we are still working on when it comes to a Brevin Spanford. Now, that's why you don't have to be 4.4 speed to get separation and make yourself open. This is not 4.4 speed, but that is elite separation in the NFL. It's over. And especially from 7.5 or whatever this is out, turn up field and get some yak. I think we got Freaky Ferg back, man. I'm just going to say that. Another one? Good Lord. This might have been a free play, though. Yep. Free play. It seems like the defense let up a little bit. PJ Locke in there. Ferg having a day. CD probably pissed. That's like a bad throw, to be honest. Yeah, it's a terrible throw. John Machado. Oh, I thought he just said CD Lamb. Yeah, Dak looking for CD. That's just a bad throw by Dak. It is what it is right there. You got to put that out in front, obviously. Did we get a blitz here? Corner blitz? Another game. I think we are back in the Dan Quinn era when it comes to stunts up front. When CP said this ain't going to be Vic, man, there's a couple things I think he's talking about here. Possibly linebacker play, and a ton of stunts are going to be happening up here. I think a lot of Vic Fangio stuff will be in the back end, but I think Marcus Dixon, Christian Parker, Chidera, the outside linebacker coach, I think they're going to cook up some stuff up front that is unique to them. Might have been a sack, but that's just a bad throw. That's all that is. We are approaching the end of practice. I know my guy John Machota got me. So we did get a Dak to CD. We're working a lot of short stuff with CD Lamb. This is the time you're really working on specific things for sure. Another drop back by the outside linebackers. Oh, I was just about to say something and they did it. I was going to say we haven't really seen a whole lot of corner blitzes, but peep Caleb Downs. We've seen Downs blitz. I think he might have. Yeah, look how he beat still on that one. Damn. Why? Come on, man. How did D Winters just get let free? Let me see. I wish we had a different angle here. Let me slow it down. D Winters would have stopped. This might have been a sack, bro. This is why you play games. This is why you sugar the A gaps. This is why you do that type of stuff. Man, we gonna be messing with these quarterbacks' minds all year. So we're showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd imagine somebody else is over there. There's a very high possibility it might be somebody else over there. That's why we like Zimper coming in, because he did a lot of sugar in these gaps here. And once Demo peels, I don't know why. I can't give you a reason to why BB didn't at least get a hand on Winters. And he just let him run free. But when you're talking about sugaring these gaps, it makes the offensive line have to declare, at least mentally. And if they pick the wrong guy, he's probably thinking, okay, bet I got, or I'm sorry, who's this? Booker has got Winters on this blitz, which again, the numbers don't even make sense on that, because Houston's over here as well as this edge. So I feel like the numbers say you need to come this way here, big BB. Especially when you got a guy in the slot that has the potential to blitz. Good rep right here though for both the offense and defense to take a look at. I don't want to harp on it too much. CeeDee Lamb drop with Savon Ravel in tight coverage. Is this the play? Nope, another one. CeeDee Lamb, they gonna be on your ass, Mr. Postman. They gonna be on CeeDee Lamb's ass if he don't start catching these balls, man. Yee. And put it out there for him. All right, let's slow it down. Take a look at the front too, because you know what we got going on. Big end over here. A lot. Hey, this must be what they're working on today. I feel like we're seeing a lot more of these linebackers with some simulated pressure looks. I mean, Dak just waited that out. Let him clear the window, right? Going to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to send 4 heavy to the right. We're going to drop back. So Lawrence probably wants to get a little bit more flatter here. Just got to catch it. CD got to catch it. Till said, y'all remember every time he yelled at Dak after a bad throw, Lamb lead the league in drops since 2020. It is a thing. He does lead the league in drops. The reason why you probably live with it is because it's CD freaking Lamb, and he's going to make a ton more plays than he's not. But yeah. Kalen Carson, INT against Howe. It's just Howe being Howe to me. Who was I talking to? Oh, John Machota. Machota was like, yeah, man, he's a guy that probably go in there. He's not going to make a whole lot of mistakes. He's not going to. You watch Sam Howe? You watch the same Sam Howe I watched? That motherfucker be throwing that thing up there. But apparently in practice, he has not been aggressive. Sam Howell, a 20-20 quarterback, 30-30 for 30 quarterback type. Josh Butler with a PBU. We get Butler in on that action. Man, don't let Butler get a pick. He going to sing his way to the end zone. That's just a bad throw. Bad throw. Got to get it out there. Tyrus Wheat with a strip sack. All right. I guess Drew. He ain't ready, y'all. He just gotta, you know. With Tyrus Wheat whooping that ass. We got some development to do. That's all. Yeah, Johnny Cornelius getting a lot of guard work. I wonder if they just said, you know, we're done with that tackle experiment with him. I thought he was gonna be a tackle. This might have been another. Nope. Yeah, there was a late blitz back here. Who's 45? Is that Barron? I would love for somebody to ask Coach, hey, were you guys working on your blitz package? Like they are sending somebody every play. Ryan Flournoy, here we go. Flo just so in control. I guess he didn't make the first down, though. I want to see another angle of this, y'all. I want to see the offense. I want to see another angle of this. I want to see some offensive line stuff here. Oh my goodness, what the hell is going on here? I didn't even peep this part of the offensive line on this pass breakup. That's a flag. If they see that, that's a flag. Yeah, somebody got around Shelton on that, but that's a bit of a flag. Kendrick. Okay, now I said we didn't see any slot blitzes. We're starting to see him right now. We're starting to see him. CeeDee Lamb gets one back. I suppose. Wait, Wheezy Bridges is lanky. Might have been a sack though. Ferg might have got beat on this one. Might have been not Ferg, Terrence, yeah. Terrence set a little bit too high there. No, maybe not a sack. I would like to see Lawrence get his hands up. Terrence looked like he set a little bit too deep. Gave up the inside. Yeah, you giving up the inside, Playboy. And yeah, not a sack, but maybe a knockdown. Put your hands up. Put your hands up, young man. Put your hands up, young man. Let's see here. How's Overshown looking so far how's Overshown looking for? He's out there. They've been blitzing him. He's been way more active in team drills than last practice because, you know, last practice he was out dealing with lower leg is what they say. Jonathan Mingo sighting. Hold up. We're going to talk about this is going to be our next battle tracker, wide receiver 5. He's squarely in the lead, in my opinion. A lot of people are asking about Trayshawn Holden. Let me pull this up. I feel like Holden is going to have to beat him out in preseason because Mingo's working already with Dak and them. So that's a clear sign of, okay, if one of our guys goes down, who do we trust to go in there? And it's obviously Mingo. He has the most experience to go play in that role. And I say that given he doesn't have a ton in Dallas, but he obviously had it in Carolina. So I think he is in the lead for wide receiver 5 here. And he's going to play special teams. So I just want to look at the line. Another simulated pressure look drop back. Nothing too crazy up front. Good pitch and catch. Good pitch and catch. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Cowboys fan Danny Dan says, "Hey Sky, when the Cowboys drafted Cornelius, they drafted him and called his position as a guard. That has always been a plan." Maybe. You're probably right. They did call him as a guard, but he did a ton of tackle. Go back and watch the preseason. He was a tackle. So thought he might get more, and he has the size of a tackle. I don't think he's a guard, but he did tackle stuff last year more than he did guard stuff. Not saying he didn't do any guard, but I do think it's interesting that they've kind of moved off completely of him being a tackle, and he looks like nothing but guard reps. Timmy said, Terrence still on the team. He weak, slow, and has no power. Definitely not slow. Terrence, that's not something somebody was. He's definitely quick, but he's definitely does not have power in the pass game. Absolutely not. Power in the run game, he be moving dudes for sure. Terrence still is he's the easiest thing to figure out, man. If he's your 4-5, you're in good shape. If he's your 1-2, you're in bad shape. But I promise you go look around the league, it's probably a Terrence Steele in every single last offensive line, if not worse. He's a very average right tackle. That is what it is, man. I think we want everybody to be all pros and these high-level starters. That's just not realistic up front, man. So if Terrence is my 5th best offensive lineman, 4th best offensive lineman, and if you don't want to live with that, then you're not living in reality. I mean, you're just not going to get the perfect group up front as Pro Bowlers or high-end starters, man. You're going to have a guy who is not like that. It's pretty simple, in my opinion. So I don't really get too caught up in the whole Terrence. A lot of people get a lot of emotions with Terrence Steele, but Terrence Steele to me is what he is. Terrence will be top 2 or 3 on some other teams. Well, as long as it ain't this one. All right, man. Michael Trigg with the sliding grab to end practice. We got the horns. That means Cowboys training camp practice day number 6 out in Oxnard on the practice field has concluded. Let's take a look. Here we go. Michael Trigg with the snag. So I do have some things to get to here. Let's see. All right. So the Cowboys conclude their 6th practice out in Oxnard on the field. And we saw a lot of good things, man. I think there was some good battles. If I had to think about, who might have been, I don't say MVP, but the guy, I think Jake Ferguson stood out a lot in this practice today for sure. Not a whole lot of run game stuff. Another thing that stood out to me in today's practice was the blitzing. A lot of blitzing happening from our guys. So here we go. Let's get to the practice board and see if we can get some check marks here. Want to see Easy E have a day? Didn't see it. Wanted to see the O-line depth step up. I don't think I can give the check there. And then Caleb Downs on the roof. I'm not going to give this a check either because we just have not seen, we didn't see the wide view. So I can't really give a check on my practice board, man. I don't think it happened. So that's cool. We got another practice coming up. Tomorrow we'll see if that happens for the Cowboys. With that said, though, I want to thank you guys for joining me again on another edition of Training Camp Central Live. What I want to do is make sure I don't miss out on some of these super chats. Appreciate you guys doing that as well. On your way out, though, before you leave, please do me a favor, hit that like button. Yeah, there was a couple supers I did miss. I got you. 1 second. I got you. Josh Bryant, he dropped 10 and said, if the Cowboys played the Giants tomorrow, which position group would you trust the least right now? It's a great question. Trust the least? Probably go linebackers, I guess, because it's not settled. Probably go linebackers. Great question, though. Great question. Shouts out to Toby, all the way from UK. He dropped a 10. I don't know how much it is here, but $10 and $2 of UK bread and said, hi, Sky. I'm a fan from the UK. Appreciate the coverage and the content throughout preseason. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Hoping our defense is just better. How do you think the Cowboys finish this season? I have them going 11-7. I have them in that area too. I think this is a double-digit win team. But for me, it's about how they're playing at the end that will give me the confidence in the postseason. Because I pretty much know how this thing plays out if the Cowboys win 10, 11, 12 games. It's not about the 10, 11, 12 games. It's about how they win or lose those 10, 11, 12. Not lose, but how they win and lose throughout the season. Then he said, Barham for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Let's get the hype train going. We had this great conversation the other day. A great question. Who would you rather win Defensive Rookie of the Year? I chose Barham because I'm thinking of him having a year that Micah had his rookie year. I feel like if he did that, it'd be better than the other two. But obviously, any of these three guys winning Rookie of the Year is going to help the Cowboys, man. It's going to help the Cowboys. With that said, I appreciate you guys joining me for another edition of Cowboys Training Camp Central Live. We will be back on Tuesday live for the Rams Cowboys joint practice, right? Rams Cowboys joint practice on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have Vach in here as well going live with us. And I'm going to try to bring in John Owning as well. We're going to wrap. I'm going to talk to him after the show. But like I said, you guys have been fantastic. But do me a favor, if you are into Prize Picks, Daily Fantasy, they are the #1 sports picks app. Head on over. If you didn't download it, download the app, play $5. If you win, you get $150 in lineup. I mean, you cannot beat that. Right now, there's not a whole lot of sporting going on besides baseball. If you're purely a football fan, go over to their future picks. They also have week 1 picks ready to go. I already did my future picks. I'll let you guys know how I feel about week 1 as we get closer. But download the app. Play $5, get $150 in lineups using the promo code HMA. Easy. That's simple. With that said, I'm going to press this button.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
And get up out of here, man. 864 said, Dak the only... Okay, y'all talking about the postseason. Aaron said, how is Malachi doing? Quiet camp? Not a loud one. I will say that. Based off what we watched it together. Not a loud one. Not a loud one. Oh, yeah, preseason does start tonight. We got some Hall of Fame game action. Make sure y'all check that out. Hit that like button and share this thing. Love y'all. Peace.